Main man here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing. Billy Joe Saunders is back. He says he wants the winner of Canelo and Triple G, but first he has to get through Willie Monroe this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. We hear the upcoming fight between Billy Joe Saunders and Willie Monroe for the WBO middleweight title, man. Lot of prestige on the line for this in this particular fight, man. The winner of this fight can go forward and do a lot of big things, man, especially holding that WBO title with so much on the line in the Canelo and Triple G fight, man, because hopefully the winner of that fight will be pivoting to look to get this WBO title, become totally undisputed, man, something we ain't seen since B-Hop. So, yo, man, it's a lot of big implications for the winner of this fight, man. Billy Joe Saunders, man, looking more motivated than ever, man. Something we ain't seen from him in a minute. We seen in this last fight, man. He didn't look too solid, man. Coming in there all out of shape and basically almost losing his title against a relatively unknown fighter in Akavov, man. And shit, they had a lot of people like, yo, what's going on with Billy Joe Saunders, man? He looking real shaky. It looked like he was ducking Golovkin, man. Prior to that, he didn't fight for like a year. He had injuries and all that. So it was looking shaky for Billy Joe, man. Billy Joe said he lost motivation for boxing. He wasn't getting paid right, man. He wasn't getting no bags. And he had some pretty tough fights during his career, man. We all know Billy Joe Saunders from defeating Andy Lee, getting the WBO title off him, man, defeating Chris Eubanks Jr. beautifully, man, putting that jab on Chris Eubanks Jr. that he likes to do. That's the number one thing that Billy Joe Saunders does so well in the ring, man. He has a wonderful, beautiful jab, man. Judges distance so very, very well, man, when he's motivated, man, and when he's in shape. And we see for this fight right here, yo, he hooked up with Dominique Ingle, man, the head trainer of my main man, Kell Brook, getting him in tip-top shape. We seen what he did with Brook, man. Got him in tip-top shape and for the Errol Spence fight. Brought him back down to 147 safely, man. And shit, Billy Joe Saunders is taking notes, man. It went straight over there to Sheffield and linked right up with Dominique Ingle, man. But now he's looking solid. He's looking motivated. I'm hearing he getting a nice purse for this particular fight here, man. This is a decent step up, and all eyes is going to be on Billy Joe Saunders, man. On the other side, you got Willie Monroe Jr. coming off 2 solid wins, man. Needing those 2 solid wins, one being over the ultimate gatekeeper himself, Gabriel Rosado, man. Who the hell ain't beat Gabriel Rosado, man? But he's coming off a big win against Gabriel Rosado, man. He took his last 2 fights on short notice, and he got his opponents out. Well, he didn't get him out of there, but he beat him in typical Willie Monroe Jr. fashion. He's basically known for most fans from basically getting his ass whooped by Gennady Golovkin in 6 rounds. And, he put a lot of leather on Golovkin, man. He was one of the few fighters who we've seen, put a hell of a lot of punches on Gennady Golovkin. And, whenever people talk of Gennady Golovkin's fights and they criticize his style, you can't help but mention Willie Monroe Jr., man. But whenever you talk about Willie Monroe Jr., man, the first thing that hits you, if you know about him, is so little of power, man. This dude, what is he like? 21-2, 6 knockouts, yo. That's always the thing about Willie Monroe Jr., man. Excellent fighter, man. Come from New York, man. Good, excellent fighter, man. And he tries to get to the top level of boxing, but he just never can hurt nobody. I always say the biggest criticism of Monroe Jr. is that he always has a problem with earning respect from his opponents, man. We seen even though Gabriel Rosado in the last fight with Monroe, he was getting tagged up, but he just kept on coming, trying to get through that front door. It's just that Willie Monroe Jr. hand speed and ability to pepper you with shots when you coming in was just too much for Gabriel Rosado, man. But he failed to hurt him, man. And, he doesn't hurt fighters often, in my opinion, man. Like, he put all that leather on Gennady Golovkin, and Gennady Golovkin was just like, come on, walking through that shit, Like, it wasn't even nothing, eating that shit like Scooby snacks, man, and just no respect whatsoever, man. And that's the things, the fight, when they look at Willie Monroe Jr. and they see his knockout percentage, and they see how he fights, and he does this by sitting on a lot of his punches, believe it or not. He just doesn't earn the respect, man. But as for Billy Joe Saunders, though, man, he earns respect with just a damn jab. You know what I mean? Like, yo, he would jab you crazy and time that jab perfectly, get full extension on it. And he really keeps a lot of his opponents honest with the jab. You know, he kept Andy Lee honest with the jab. He kept Chris Eubanks Jr. Honest with the jab, though he started to almost fade later on in that fight. But, you know, he kept him honest with just simply a jab. And that says a lot about Billy Joe Saunders. It's not that he doesn't have knockout power. It's just that his style of fighting, he fights according to just letting the knockout comes. That's just how Billy Joe Saunders fight. He has a good pedigree, man. He's a good fighter, man. Whenever he's motivated and ain't seemingly ducking Gennady Golovkin, he's a fucking good fighter, man. He talks the fucking talk, man. That's one thing about him. He always hyping up some shit, but you know, right now, man, he has a mixed bag of fans, man, because we seen at the weigh-in today, his badass kid, man, kicked Willie Monroe Jr., man, and that was some classless, tasteless shit, man, and we didn't see any type of discipline or chastisement from Billy Joe Saunders, but then again, what the fuck was he supposed to do? He not gonna just discipline his kid in front of the world right there, man. Besides, you know, that's the weigh-in. It's, man, you know, look, emotions is running. Look, man, we about to fight, man. It is what it is, man, but a lot of fans are turned off by it, man, and Billy Joe Saunders don't need nobody turned off to him at this point during his career, where he's trying to basically, you know, rebuild whom he really is, man. So it is what it is, man. But Willie Monroe Jr., man, I seen his text, man. He put, I mean, his Twitter that he got out, man, where he basically was tweeting about, you know, how he's been treated since he's basically been over there, man, and he ain't basically happy with the treatment that he's been receiving from a lot of the UK fans, as well as Billy Joe Saunders himself. According to Willie Monroe Jr., I honestly thought people in London were cool, but I've been called a nigger, a wanker, a Latin fuck, etc. And now at the weigh-ins, they bring a kid on stage to punch me in the nuts, and nothing was done about it. At Frank Warren should be ashamed of himself. Man, look, man. I mean, yo, true, that's fucked up, man. But I hope Willie Monroe Jr. ain't allowing the way he's being treated in the backyard of the champion as a distraction, man. Because, you know, if he let this thing get to him, and if it's going to affect him going into this fight, that can be a major X factor going into this fight, ladies and gentlemen. And Willie Monroe Jr. cannot be distracted. We seen fighters like Earl Spence go over there, beat Kell Brook in his backyard. But I'm pretty sure, though he was getting a good welcome from a lot of UK fans, there was some probably going against him too. But he went over there, got the job done, man. Fighters do it all the time, man. We just seen Tank Davis go over there and beat Liam Walsh. You know what I mean? Yo, man, Willie Monroe Jr., man, you may get a little heat over there, but you better stay focused, tunnel vision, and go over there to get the job done, man. Don't be bitching and moaning, man. According to Billy Joe Saunders, my son's been taught when a stranger put their hands on him, don't know that they don't know, punch and run away in self-defense, man. You know, crappy response, man. But, you know, it is what it is. He gonna stick up for his kid, and he ain't gonna embarrass his kid in front of the world. People shouldn't even really expect him to do such, man. But, yo, man, once again, Willie Monroe Jr. better not let this thing distract him. Clearly, Billy Joe Saunders isn't. He's too motivated, too hungry, and he's already ahead of this thing, man. But, you know, stylistically, it's going to be an interesting fight. I expect it to be slow-paced early. I expect for it to probably pick up later on. But I expect the more risk to be taken by Billy Joe Saunders, and I expect Willie Monroe to just try to, you know, pepper Billy Joe Saunders as he try to close the gap. But Billy Joe Saunders fights very well from distance also. I told you that jab he got, man. He puts full extension on it, and he can hurt you with that jab, and he throws it multiple times, and he counters well with it also. So I'm going to say, man, stylistically, this is going to be a good chess match. But I think, honestly, the smarts of Billy Joe Saunders will go through. I think he's more motivated, more hungry. I think he commands much more respect, and I think once he also will not have much respect for Willie Monroe Jr. like a lot of the past opponents, and he'll take more chances, man. And I think Willie Monroe Jr. eventually is going to get tagged up, especially by the jab, because I think he's going to be trying to time him, but I think it's going to be slow pace, man. A lot of fans ain't going to be happy with this fight, and you see they putting this fight on YouTube, by the way. For those who don't know, this thing going to be broadcast on YouTube, and I'm on the East Coast, and so it's going to be about 5:30 shown over here. I'm going to watch that motherfucker on YouTube, man. So it is what it is. Good looking out on that one. Whoever's responsible for that, man, for real, man. But they trying to draw some attention to this fight because they really want Billy Joe Saunders, man, if he looks good in this fight, to have an honest, you know, basically a fair shake of trying to get the winner of Canelo versus Triple G. So according to Frank Warren, the promoter, man, Billy Joe Saunders, you better look good, bro. You better not coming into this fight slacking, man. You better get the job done and try to do it impressively. The better you get Willie Monroe Jr. out of there, man, the better your chances of getting the winner of the Canelo Triple G fight, man. And not letting either one of them pivot to something else like a Miguel Cotto or whatever, man. You know, shit happens in boxing, man. But it is what it is, man. But I'm a rock with Billy Joe Saunders. I think he wins this by unanimous decision. I think he takes more chances. I think he shows less respect, and I think his jab will be right on point, man. I think he looks motivated. I think he looks hungry. And though Willie Monroe Jr. will prove to be a good foe, he's not an elite fighter, man. And he just doesn't have the power. And for a guy who just sits on their punches and still can't hurt opponents, you know, it's just, that's telling to me. But most importantly, though, Willie Monroe Jr. has tremendous skill, good defense, man, good hand speed. It's going to be an interesting fight earlier on. I'd say maybe even the first 8 rounds. It's going to be close, man. Unanimous decision for Billy Joe Saunders, but still a close fight. 7 rounds to 5. Somewhere around there, man. Possibly even a draw, man. I wouldn't even rule that out in this fight. But it's going to be interesting, man. But I'm going to rock with Billy Joe Saunders. But if it's a draw, anything close like that, that's not good for Billy Joe Saunders. But to the next video, Main Man, Made Man. Don't forget to subscribe. Twitter, Made Man 511. Facebook, Made Man Boxing Forum. Google Plus, Made Man. Remember, man, Billy Joe Saunders, man, was supposed to be in a tough fight in his last fight, yo. He tried to get the Gennady Golovkin fight prior to this. And, you know, Oscar stepped in and stopped that shit and told him, yo, you want Canelo, man. You better drop that fight. And then after that, man, he was supposed to fight the dude, Kurt Cedes, man. Kurt Cedes came off that hell of a fight, man, with Tommy Langford, man. I wanted to see that fight. He hit him with that left hand hook, sent him out, man. I say, shoot, him and Billy Joe Saunders, that would have been a hell of a fight. But shit, man, that dude got caught up with a RICO case. Dude got caught up with some, man, he into some other stuff, man. And then it came down to David Lemieux. But David Lemieux, man, like I said, he pushed that injury and he said he has his asset on greener pastures. He'd rather take Miguel Cotto instead, and at least attempt to get that fight later on this year. And so that led us to Willie Monroe Jr., man. But still, man, it's going to be an interesting thing. Can't wait to see this fight. Come on back for the post-fight breakdown, and we're going to keep it pushing. To the next video. Peace out.